Good evening. My name is Thurman Greco, and I am the author of a book called Reflexology for the Spirit, and our show is called Let's Live. And we have a special guest this evening. We have Arlene, who is a reflexologist, and Arlene is going to be working on Susan's feet. She's going to be offering reflexology, and I'm going to read the book. And the book is in a blog form now as well, and you can go to the blog, go to Reflexology for the Spirit, and you will find this book in the process of being blogged. And I do enter 1 to 2 posts a day on this book, and it's a really nice way to learn reflexology. And if you have any questions tonight while I'm reading the book, you can definitely go to the blog and you can write in the question in the comment area, and then I'll be more than happy to get back with you, hopefully within 24 hours. So, Arlene, what oils are we using tonight?
Tonight we're using sage, which is good for your mental clarity, and it's also good for the pelvic chakra, the second chakra, where a lot of abuse, sorrow is held, and it's an oil that helps to sort of release those feelings.
That's wonderful, because in these times, women are beginning to come out with stories that we didn't have the courage to talk about before. So sage is a very good oil for these days and times. And then you're using are you using an oil or a lotion on her feet?
I'm using a combination of a lotion, and actually this is just extra virgin olive oil with a little bit of lavender in it.
Oh wow!
So I have a little bit of a combination of 2 oils tonight.
Yes, that's very nice. One of the things that happens when you are a practicing reflexologist is that you begin to find out what oils and creams and lotions work for you and what works on what set of feet, because you don't always use the same thing on everybody's feet, and it's just part of the process, an ongoing process. We're gonna start our program tonight, our class tonight, with a guided meditation. I wrote this meditation several days ago, and this is really the first time that I have so it's making its debut. It's the first time I've read this meditation in public, and it's entitled A Canoe and an Angel. Make yourself comfortable. Relax. Imagine that you are lying in a beautiful canoe filled with cushions. The small boat is just the right size for you. There is no room for anyone or anything else in this canoe. There is just room enough for you to just be you and nothing more. You're lying in this canoe in the middle of a beautiful pond. The water in the pond is still, clean, peaceful. Let your body become heavy. Sink into the cushions. You're lying in your canoe in the middle of the pond. Notice the space around you. Experience the peace and feel the energy. Look above you at the beautiful sky. A few clouds are moving slowly and lazily across the sky. A gentle breeze begins to move your canoe across the pond. The breeze moves your canoe into a small opening of the pond, which becomes a stream, and you float down the stream. Beautiful trees and greenery line the banks of this gentle stream. You feel safe. This is a protected area. As you float along, your eye is drawn to the lovely clouds in the blue sky overhead. You see and hear colorful birds in the trees along the banks of the stream. Breathe in the peace and gentleness of the stream. Enjoy just being. Appreciate the energy of the scene. You don't have to do anything. Simply breathe and enjoy. Slowly, the canoe comes to the shore along the stream. You look around, you enjoy the beautiful trees, the greenery, the flowers, the birds. You're very, very relaxed, and you enjoy being in this special place. You look over to the shore and you see a bench. You're called to climb out of the canoe and walk over and sit on this lovely bench in a protected area under some trees. As you sit down on the bench, you realize that you are not alone. Coming to sit beside you is an angel. You feel comfortable and you reach out to the angel who touches your hand. You know this angel has come to sit by your side and be with you for a few moments. You know that this angel has come to answer a question for you. So you prepare your question. As you sit next to the angel, you take note of how the angel looks. What colors surround this angel? Is this angel tall, short? And how is this angel dressed? What is the overall feeling that you get from your angel? Does your angel give you a name? And if so, what is it? If not, it's okay. It doesn't matter. You pause a moment and you ask your special angel a question that you have prepared just for your angel. After a moment, this angel answers your question and offers you wisdom, comfort, love. Then the breeze becomes a little stronger and you gently rise from the bench. It's time to say thank you and goodbye to your special angel. You slowly return to the canoe, thankful for having met your special angel. As you get comfortable in the canoe once more, you feel an enfolding warmth which is very healing. You feel as if you're part of the earth. You feel strong, healthy. You breathe in peace, strength, health, happiness, and you feel very quiet. You take these feelings into your solar plexus to keep and remember for any future time that you might need them. Now, return to your body. Become aware of your surroundings. Move your fingers, toes, arms, legs. Slowly open your eyes. Become fully awake and know that you have the memory of this time in the canoe with the special angel with you to return to when you need it. And now we are going to continue reading our blog book called Reflexology of the Spirit. It's always nice when you're offering a foot reflexology of the spirit session to someone if you can include a guided meditation. It helps with the intention of relaxation and it helps with the intention of health. And intention is an important part of reflexology for the spirit. And we're going to start off talking about allergies. Allergies plague people year-round, and they present spiritual challenges. So anytime you run across someone who tells you that they have allergies, this is a spiritual condition. And although people don't really realize it, very few people have food allergies. Most allergy sufferers experience conditions like sinusitis, hay fever, and asthma. And in order to overcome allergies successful, a real commitment is needed. And by that, I mean, if a person really wants to get rid of your allergies, you really can. But you have to get with the program. You have to figure out what are you going to have to do to overcome these allergies. Some people work from a place of avoidance, and they say, for example, well, I'm allergic to cats, therefore I won't go to anybody's home that has cats. Or I'm allergic to dogs, therefore I won't go to any home where there are dogs. Or I'm allergic to cedar, so I won't go to any home or any building or anything where there's a cedar tree in the area. Or you can say to yourself, I've got these allergies and I'm going to deal with these allergies. I'm going to overcome this spiritual situation that I have. And in order to do this, in order to overcome your allergies, you need to include a weekly reflexology session. And this is a long-term commitment. This is not just once or twice. You need to make up your mind that this is what you're going to do. Long-term visits to a reflexologist for allergy situations can lessen or prevent outbreaks of sinusitis, hay fever, by avoiding the allergy triggers. And this boils down to asking yourself, what is the source of this allergy? And of course, we already talked about this, because if you know that you're allergic to cats, you know that this is one of the sources of your allergies. On a spiritual level, allergy sufferers are dealing with the power struggle and how it affects them, which translates into allergies. So this is a struggle. Dealing with allergies is an inner struggle that people have. And people allergic to pollen should try to avoid them. People with sensitivities to indoor allergens should use dust mite covers on their mattresses and pillows and eliminate house dust as much as possible. And pets are often a source of allergic reactions. People should not have to give up their pets just because you have allergies. You shouldn't have to run away from a pet just because you have allergies. Pets offer so much. Pets offer unconditional love, for one thing, and I don't know that many humans that do. So I advise everybody to go get a pet if you possibly can. One of the things that your client partners can do is brush the pets often, bathe them weekly in a shampoo that doesn't cause an allergic reaction to humans. And cats are and of course a lot of people say, oh, I can't do this. I have a cat. I can't bathe my cat. Cats are very, very easy to bathe. You get a hypoallergenic shampoo. You go to the kitchen sink. You fill the sink with warm water. Think of soup. Think of consommé. Think of something about 98.6. Now your cat is going to be the body temperature is a little bit higher than your body temperature. But if you can put your hand in that water and feel like it's the same temperature that you have, then you've got a really good condition. Now what you do is you gently lower your cat into the sink of warm water, and then you soak the cat up. And then you gently rinse it in warm running water that doesn't make a splash. And this is the secret. As long as the water doesn't make splashes, cats are not going to have any problem getting bathed at all. And you don't try to put the head underwater. And then you towel your cat dry, and you fold up the towel. And if it has a lot of hair on it, if you can, throw it away. If not, you wash it. But you fold it up so that the hair is on the inside of the towel. Now, if you have a dog that you're allergic to, and you know, some people can have allergies to dogs. People can say, I'm allergic to dogs. And they're not going to be allergic to all dogs, because you're going to be allergic to dogs that have coats. And there are some dogs that do not have coats. Poodles don't have coats. Shih Tzus don't have coats. Lhasa Apsos don't have coats, as an example. So dogs with thick coats include golden retrievers and Labrador retrievers and Cocker spaniels and different breeds like that. And so you need to trim the coat down if the dog has a coat. And if it has hair, that dog is going to be trimmed anyway because it's going to go to get groomed like humans go to the beauty salon. So it's going to go once a month. And when you take your dog to the groomer, if you're doing so because you have allergy problems, you tell the groomer, I've got allergies and I need, for you to keep this into consideration. There are a lot of groomers out there that have gotten special training for allergies. There are a lot of groomers out there that will use special dryers that will blow all of the hair off of the coat. There are a lot of groomers out there that will use special shampoos. So there are a lot of things that the groomer can do that will help you keep your dog. Now, there are some breeds, now that I'm talking about taking your dog over to the groomer and getting all the hair cut off, there are some breeds that just simply should not have that happen. And one of them is a Sheltie and another one is a Collie. So the rest of them, you can pretty well take off all the hair and the dog isn't going to have any problem at all. And there are some breeds that when you remove most of the hair, they're very happy. Cocker spaniels love a buzz cut. They absolutely adore it. They're very playful. And a poodle should have a short cut anyway. And Shih Tzus and Lhasa Apsos, although poodles, Shih Tzus, and Lhasa Apsos are not dogs that you're going to be allergic to, they should have shortcuts as well. And as an interesting point, every client that I have had with allergies, the dog has had allergies as well. So the chances are pretty good that if you've got allergies, that your dog and your cat are going to have allergies as well. Okay, so in addition, your client partner, so we're talking about getting the animals clean, getting them to the groomer, getting all the extra dander and coat taken off, having special shampoos, and doing this on a routine basis, getting your pet dander-free as much as possible. And in addition, your client needs to work to keep the sinus cavities clean. And one of the things that helps is washing curtains, drapes, throw rugs, anything that's washable, stuffed animals, human and pet bedding, remove the allergy triggers in the home. I have allergies to my pets, and I live in a small home here in Woodstock, New York, and I have 2 cats and 3 dogs. And my dogs get bathed often, and their bedding gets bathed once a week. And, after all, I bathe my own bedding once a week. So why not the pets? And also, you can ask yourself, maybe I can just get rid of some of this stuff. If you've got curtains, you need to ask yourself, do I really need these curtains that are collecting dust? Maybe it would be better just not to have these curtains that are collecting dust. And that way you have less problems with allergies confronting you. And periodically remove the dust on everything with a damp cloth. And the idea is not to slap at it, but to take a damp cloth and go over everything in your house periodically. And you want all of the dust and all of the allergens to collect in this cloth. It can be a disposable cloth that you get at the grocery store. It can be an old washcloth that you're getting ready to throw away. It can be paper towels. It can be any number of things. But what you want to do is you want to go over everything in your house to get rid of the dust, because dust is a big source of allergens. Now, when you have removed the dust from everything, put this cloth, fold it up, put it in a plastic bag or other type of bag, seal it, and put it in the trash. All your carpets and upholstered furniture should be vacuumed frequently. If central heat or an air purifier is used, the filter should always be clean. An air purifier is only as good for you as it is clean. You also need to get rid of mice and roaches. And this is a really interesting statement that I'm making because I had a long conversation with a veterinarian one time who said to me, it was not a Woodstock vet, it was when I was living in Virginia. And the man said that there is not a house or building in our entire country that does not have mice in it. That they are in our house. If we live in a house and we open a door, a mouse is going to get in because they'll run in with you. So it's not a matter of being dirty or not taking care of your house or whatever. You just have to face up to the fact that we do have mice. So, and that's just part of what we live with. And of course, one of the nice things about having a cat is that if you have a cat, you're not going to have so many mice. Because cats are the natural predator to mice and rats. People think that cats like fish because cats will go to docks where the water is. And the theory is that, well, they're there to get the fish. But in reality, they're there to get the rats because rats love to live around docks and they live around water because that's what they are naturally predators to. So, be aware of the products that you use to clean your home, your pets, your car, and your workplace. Products should be used that come under the category of hypoallergenic. There are a lot of products out there now that are not destructive to human beings and to the planet. And this is really what you need to do because you need to clean out your house. And unless you moved into a brand new house yesterday, you are going to have debris from every time it was cleaned using any kind of cleaning product back from day one. And if you move into a brand new house yesterday, then you've got all these new gases and scents and all of this new stuff that comes from the walls and the pantries and the cabinets and the new furniture and everything. So it's just part of having a house that you live in. So just be prepared to try to get rid of all of the allergens that you possibly can using the cleanest products possible. And last, but certainly not least, the person suffering with allergies needs to look around and realize that he or she has got some human beings that you're allergic to also. Because there are human beings out there that create stress for us. And when they create stress for us, we have these allergic reactions to them. Because we do have we're allergic to cats, we're allergic to dogs, but we're also allergic to people. And we need to deal with these allergens. And if you can deal with the other allergens in your home, it makes it easier for you to deal with the people. It's often necessary to use the services of an otolaryngologist and an allergist as well. Allergy shots can be very effective for desensitizing a person suffering with contact allergies, and allergy shots are a natural method of desensitization that can be effective for many years. There are some newer methods out. There are some ways that people can deal with their allergies that do not involve getting shots, but allergy shots have been around for many, many, many years. They're safe, they're proven. They don't have any contraindications. They are a natural way of dealing with your allergies. The biggest drawback to allergies is that if you take the shots, you've got to make a commitment to yourself, which we talked about in the beginning. If you're going to deal with your allergies, you have to make a commitment. I'm going to deal with my allergies. And you have to begin to take these allergy shots. You start off, some people start off twice a week, and then they get down to once a week, and then they get down to once every 2 weeks. And finding the proper allergist is a very, very interesting experience in itself, because you can go to one allergist and maybe you'll have results, but you can go to another allergist and really have results. So it's going to depend upon how much skill that person has. And there are also a lot of allergists out there that say that, well, beyond a certain age, allergy shots are useless. And I happen to know for a fact that that's not true. Allergy shots will desensitize you for a number of years. And I know that I was in my 60s the last time I went to an allergist and took allergy shots. And I'm now in my 70s, and I still have a lot fewer allergies than I had before I went. And I've gone through the allergy shot regime 3 times in my life. And I don't think you're too old, but you do need to find the right allergist. You can't just go to anyone. And this may seem like an awful lot to do, but over time, you're going to have a better quality of life. You're going to receive reflexology weekly. You're going to not have so many stuffed noses and sinus infections, and you're going to live happily with your pets, and you're going to get along much better than you were before. So it's a wonderful thing to make a commitment to. Now, for the reflexologist, when you are working on a client partner who's interested in getting rid of their allergies, you need to work the respiratory system, the immune system, the sinuses, the digestive system, the endocrine system, the liver, and the solar plexus. So that's kind of a path. That's kind of a lot of things that you need to work, but the allergist can do that in the space of an hour, and it's a really nice form of reflexology to have somebody work on your endocrine system and your digestive system and your immune system. The next thing we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about ankle breaks and ankle sprains. Also, the essential oils for allergies are the chamomiles, either German or Roman, wintergreen or lavender. So Arlene was naturally using lavender, which is really good. And lavender is good for a lot of different spiritual conditions that involve sensitivity. It's good for eczema, it's good for psoriasis, so there are a lot of things that you can do with lavender. Lavender is a good essential oil to use, and it's not that expensive, and it's very good, and people like it too. Now, back to ankle breaks and sprains. Feet are spiritual. Our feet move us forward in life, as do our hands and our arms and our wrists. And the part of the body that allows this to happen is the ankle and the wrist. An ankle break or sprain is a spiritual event as far as reflexology for the spirit is concerned. And when a person breaks a sprain, an ankle, the spiritual self is calling for a timeout. And the person is having difficulties moving forward in life with either a special event or with life in general. And there are 2 people I'm going to bring forth. They're not really recent events, but I thought that they were very, very significant. We had a woman who was nominated to the Supreme Court, and her name was Sonia Sotomayor. And Sonia Sotomayor is a lovely woman and a very well-trained attorney. It was a good promotion for her. One of the things that happens when a person is nominated to the Supreme Court, they have to go to Washington, D.C. unless they already live there. And they have to, someone generally takes them around, and they go around and visit the office of every senator and congressman in Washington, D.C. That is grueling. It is grueling. And it's a very political thing because you've always got, if the Democratic president nominates a person, then you've got all the Republicans over here saying, no, this person's pooey, we need somebody else. So not all of these visits are pleasant. And Sonia Sotomayor, they always show pictures on television of these people going around and visiting the different people. I could tell this woman was not happy doing this at all. And it wasn't too long. It was like 2 or 3 days, and she came down with a broken ankle. So she was hobbling around from office to office with her foot in a cast. And for me, that said everything it needed to say. I mean, that was it. This woman was going through this terrible time in her life, and her body and her soul was saying, hey, come on, this is too much. But she didn't stop. She kept going. And we had the same thing happen with Hillary Clinton. Several years ago, Hillary Clinton broke her elbow. And she was at the time Secretary of State, and she was having a terrible time with somebody or something or some country, and she had lines in her face. She looked pretty disheveled, and it wasn't long until she had broken her elbow. I mean, this is how it happens. And every time I see somebody hobbling around in a foot cast, I know what's happened. You've just pushed yourself too far. So the person is having difficulty moving forward in life with either a special event or with life in general. When working the feet of a person with a sprained or broken ankle, always, if you can, include Reiki therapy. Include essential oils and gently use reflexology for the spirit skills to work the part of the foot which is visible outside the cast. The body part inside the cast is under stress because the muscles are not being allowed to move. And if the person is in a soft cast or boot, don't remove it without the physician's permission. But work with what you've got available and work with the other foot. And you can also work the hands as well. And always offer Reiki. Bring out all the big guns. Do whatever you can to help this person who's going through a really tough time. And good essential oils for sprains, and there are different oils for sprains than there are for broken bones. The ones for a sprain, now this is interesting, are pine, basil, Idaho balsam fir, wintergreen, spruce, cypress, and peppermint. So they're the mints and the conifers, because basil is a mint. And now for the broken bones, we're looking at thyme, helichrysum, wintergreen, peppermint, spruce, again, Idaho balsam fir, and pine. So I would say, well, for either one, if you're just going to have one oil, go for the Idaho balsam fir or the basil or the pine or the peppermint. Peppermint is a very spiritual essential oil. Now, the next one that we're going to deal with tonight is anxiety. And everybody suffers from anxiety after a while. I mean, anybody who tells you they don't suffer from anxiety is a liar. That's it. That's, either that or they're in some kind of a bubble that I don't know anybody else who is in. Many times people get themselves in a state of anxiety, in an anxious state, and they can't get out of it. And one of the reasons I believe is because their childhoods were so traumatic that they physically were so wrapped up that they have never learned to relax. They don't know how to calm down and relax. And after being like this for so many years, you just can't, So learning to deal with anxiety for some people is not going to happen overnight. And it is going to require some regular visits with Reflexology of the Spirit. It is going to require having a person feeling comfortable enough to get on the reflexologist table and relax. And for some people, it's not easy. For some people, there's no choice, but for some people, it's not easy. So when somebody comes to you and they're totally stressed out, just keep it in the back of your mind. Maybe this person has been stressed out for umpteen years. And, if it took 50 years to get to this point, you're not going to overcome it in 1 or 2 weeks. That's for sure. And also, sometimes people on long-term prescriptive drugs suffer from anxiety. And anxiety can exist with a chemical imbalance in the brain. And of course, drugs will do that, as well as trauma. PTSD will do it. And anxiety, for the most part, is diagnosed through the symptoms. And some people feel that anxiety affects more women than men. And I don't necessarily know if I agree with that, but I haven't seen the whole world. So offer your anxiety sufferers an opportunity to enjoy the benefits of essential oils, Reiki therapy, in addition to reflexology for the spirit. Now here, work the solar plexus, work the nervous system, work the digestive system, work the urinary system, the endocrine system, the adrenals, the liver, and the solar plexus. Now, the adrenals, this is a big deal because when you are suffering from anxiety, your adrenals are totally stressed out. You cannot have anxiety without having stressed out adrenals. So you need to offer them an opportunity to receive support and caring. Relaxing the solar plexus offers the body an opportunity to achieve deep relaxation and grounding. And if your client partner is taking prescriptive drugs, herbs, or other medications for a medical condition, work the body systems that apply. So that try to find out what kind of meds they're taking, what kind of vitamins, what kind of herbs they're taking, and try to figure out where does that translate to in a body system and work the body system. And the essential oils, there are many, but orange is a fabulous one. Roman chamomile is another one. Ylang-ylang, and again, lavender. So lavender is kind of like a basic oil. It should be definitely in your toolkit, as well as Reiki. Now we're going to go on to arthritis. And arthritis is a huge deal. So many people suffer from arthritis. And of course, there's over 100 different kinds of arthritis. And some of them are autoimmune and some are not. They're all, arthritis is just a collection of diseases. And it's very definitely spiritual. People who suffer from arthritis, whatever the 100 diseases it is, whichever one or two that they've got, it's spiritual. So it's very important that a person suffering from arthritis go to a rheumatologist. So many times people will say to themselves, well, every time I do whatever and my knee bothers me or my hip bothers me, oh, well, it's just arthritis. And they go on and they forget it and they ignore it and they don't go and get medical treatment. I cannot emphasize this so much. You need to get need to get a diagnosis and you need to begin treatment as soon as possible. 15 years down the line, 20 years down the line, if you do that, you will thank your reflexologist for having told you that you needed to do it. Because a reflexologist can work with people who have arthritis, do work with people who have arthritis, and beautifully, but they cannot they can't fight the entire battle. You do need other things for other times. For example, you may, at different points, if you have arthritis, you may at some point go to a physical therapist. You may at some point go to a pain management place. There are several different places that you may go to from time to time, but you're going to see your reflexology for the spirit practitioner every week. So the reflexology for the spirit practitioner is your constant in all of this journey with arthritis. Some people with arthritis have rheumatoid arthritis. Some of them are dealing with autoimmune conditions. And of course, the reflexologist would treat these different kinds of arthritis in different ways. So you need to be able to tell your reflexologist what kind of arthritis you have so that he or she will know how to function with the disease. And of course, the most common form of arthritis is osteoarthritis. And it's a leading cause of pain and disability in older adults. And it's caused by a loss of cartilage in the joints. The joints are the most often affected are the hands and the wrists, the neck, the lower back, the hips, and the knees. Heck, that's almost everything. So the risk factors for osteoarthritis are obesity, heredity, and improper diet. And of course, improper diet is a real hook because 99% of the people that I talk to feel like they are eating the proper diet. They feel like they are eating what they should eat. And not all of them are. So, we all feel like we eat the right foods, but we don't always. Ideally, the best way to combat arthritis, regardless of the kind, is to use, like I've been saying for the last few minutes, a team approach. The arthritis team should include a rheumatologist, a reflexology for the spirit practitioner, a physical therapist, a nutritionist, an acupuncturist, and a primary medicine practitioner. So you would go to these different people at different times. When you have flare-ups and it's painful, you could go get some acupuncture. When you need to go to a physical therapist, you need to go. You don't need to go to a physical therapist all the time. You do need to go to the reflexologist regularly. If an arthritis sufferer will use all the healthcare professionals available, the results will be better, the amount of drugs consumed will be smaller, and that is a huge result. That is a huge result. And while a reflexology for the spirit practitioner deals with the problems of arthritis over the long haul, a physical therapist can offer some relief. When working with an arthritis sufferer, you need to learn about all the things that he can do in the self-help arena. You try to learn all the things that the rheumatologist recommends so you can work with them. And optimum improvement depends on repeated, regular visits to the reflexologist table and finding out what is everybody saying, and knowing what everybody's saying really helps. And again, many times people have a tendency to postpone their visits to get treatment. This is not a good approach. The sooner you begin this aggressive battle, the better off you're going to be. And when working with an arthritis sufferer, regardless of what kind of arthritis it is, and keeping in mind there's dozens and dozens of kinds, try to keep in mind that you have a personality type here as well. You have a person who is overly critical of himself, herself, as well as others. And many arthritis sufferers appear to harbor resentment and pain and blame. So this is a huge statement considering how many people in our culture have arthritis. And when you offer reflexology to these people, it's going to be a relaxation. They are going to learn to just kind of go with the flow a little bit, and they are going to have some pain relief, and things are going to be much better. Also, if the person has reflexology of the hands and has arthritis of the hands and arthritis of the feet, it's very important. This gives you an opportunity to actually go and work those hands and work those feet, and they will be so grateful to you. So grateful to you. Now, the areas to work include the solar plexus, the entire endocrine system, the urinary system, the immune system, the nervous system, the digestive system, the circulatory system, the liver, the solar plexus, and the individual joints that the client is suffering with. And you can find those joints on the feet and on the hands. And we will, in the future, have some time in which I point out where those joints are on the feet. But we're just not there. That's much further down the book. Essential oils, there are many, many essential oils for arthritis sufferers. Wintergreen again, peppermint again. Peppermint has been listed in almost all of these disease descriptions here this evening. Peppermint would be a good basic oil to have. We also have nutmeg, German chamomile. The chamomiles have been listed several times this evening. clove, copaiba, helichrysum, Idaho balsam fir, white fir, pine, eucalyptus globulus, frankincense, myrrh. Frankincense and myrrh are popular with osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis sufferers as well. So there's a number of different essential oils that you can use. And violet flame Reiki is also appropriate with arthritis sufferers. I don't know if how many people in the Hudson Valley area use violet flame Reiki. It is one of my favorite kinds. It was very popular in when I was in Virginia, but I haven't run across too many people up here that use it. But it's very good for autoimmune diseases. We are beginning to run short of time. I'm going to begin to talk about bunions. We may not get through with bunions tonight. And I would like to remind everyone that we are coming to you from Woodstock, New York. This is Thurman Greco from Let's Live. And I am blogging the book, Reflexology for the Spirit. And you can find it on the net, Reflexology for the Spirit. And we will also be selling this book as well. And so you're going to have an opportunity to learn about the book on television, on YouTube, and also on the blog as well as on a book. We're going to begin to talk a little bit about bunions. And bunions are very, very interesting because for me, they tell quite a story. Bunions have been around for generations and generations and generations. And because of their location on the foot, bunions are a way of dealing with love and the loss thereof. I was reading a big story in, I guess, the Metropolitan section, although it was probably a different section at the New York Times a couple of weeks ago. And they had a woman there who was a woman. She was a lovelorn columnist is what she was. She connected people. She was a matchmaker. And they had this full picture of this beautiful woman seated in a chair, and I looked down at her shoes, and she had a bunion on her left foot. And I thought, okay, girl, you've had some problems coming and going, so maybe this qualifies you for offering the advice that you're offering, because you have been dealing with love. When you have a bunion on the left foot, you are dealing with love. You have a bunion on the right foot, you're dealing with love too. That's what they have. People with bunions have a lack of the ability to accept things on a carefree level. And you know, it's hard to fall in love if you can't be carefree. And it also means that if you are having problems, that you are going to take them very seriously. And professionals cannot totally agree on what causes bunions. Flat feet, ill-fitting shoes. We're going to talk a lot about shoes. Congenital disposition towards bunions. This much is certain. Getting surgery to repair bunions is becoming more and more popular. And having bunions recur after surgery is also a reality. So we don't really feel that bunions repair an awful lot. The surgery repairs an awful lot. Reflexology for the Spirit practitioners can help both before and after surgery. We are running out of time, so we're going to start the next TV show dealing with reflexology. We're going to start with bunions. We're going to have Arlene again with our model. She's going to be offering reflexology while we read from the book. And I thank everyone for joining us this evening. I thank you if you go to the blog, and I thank you for joining us on YouTube. And you have a wonderful evening, and thank you again. Arlene, thank you for coming tonight.
You're welcome.